Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Season 9 Episode 10. A dogfight all the way home. Oh my goodness, it was a dogfight in this episode, I can tell you that right now. So yeah, let's just get on into it. Hopefully my video, I cleaned out a lot of storage from last week on my iPad here, so hopefully the video doesn't cut out in the middle of me filming. So I apologize for that on last week's Happily Ever After recaps that I had to divide into two parts. So the first couple, I just want to skim through them, is Darcy and Georgie. You know, every season, it just seems like the last couple seasons, there's always just that one couple that just makes me not want to cover them. I don't like doing that. I really don't. Like, I like doing these recaps. I like covering every single couple and talking about everything that happened in the episode. But Darcy and Georgie, it's just, makes it really hard for me. Like, you know, I remember last season on 90 Day, I had a hard time with Sean and Aaliyah. I had a hard time on The Last Resort with Goofy Natalie. I had a hard time on Before the 90 Days with Lauren and Faith. You know, it's just, it's just that one couple. And then last year on Happily Ever After, I had a hard time with, I think it was Ashley and Manuel. So it just seems like every year, every season, it's just that one couple that just makes me just get so annoying, just doesn't make me want to cover them. And this season is Darcy and Georgie. Like, as bad as Tiger Lily and Adnan are, Darcy and Georgie just make me cringe more because and it's mostly Darcy, just the way she be acting and everything. I mean, but in this episode, like I said, just gonna get through it real quick. You know, they're still trying to work on the communication issues. It is their anniversary. They've been married for a year. Georgie's parents are going to throw them a big party and everything, and they're all excited. They're hanging out for that. And Darcy called Stacy to invite her to the anniversary party, and Stacy and Florian are going to come. Georgie said that, you know, he's happy that, you know, he was a little upset that Darcy didn't tell him right away, but he said that, you know, Stacy and Flora and her family, they're always welcome, but, you know, when Darcy and Stacy get together, like, he was being nice, he was just like, you know, when they get together, things pop off all the time. So I just don't think Georgie wants any problems with that, so it is what it is on that one. So, yeah. That was Darcy and Georgie. Next couple I want to talk is freaking Brandon and Julia. Now, Brandon and Julia, I love Julia. I love Julia. But I've been on her side most of the season, but she's starting to get on my nerves now too. Because okay, in this they're going to Miami to actually do a second wedding but Julia's family is in town and everything. They weren't able to be physically at the wedding when they first got married back in 2020 because of COVID. So they're going to Miami to try to do a second ceremony while Julia's parents are here. Before they go, they actually go over to Betty and Ron's farm and everything. This time it was planned and everything. And, you know, Betty and Julia just said no drama in Miami and everything. And Julia says that her and Betty's relationship is always like that. They always have a conflict, and then they forgive and forget, but they don't talk like adults to it to try to fix it and everything. So they fly to Miami, and, you know, they're trying to just do some planning. Julia is in charge of this whole thing, basically. And, you know, and I'm not a fan of Betty and Ron, but they were concerned because Julia wants to have this wedding on the beach and everything. And with them being in Miami, it's, you know, it's really subject to rain. They get there, it's really cloudy, and it looked like it was about to storm. So Betty just asked, like, do we have a backup plan just in case it rains and everything, just in case it rains? Julia gives her an attitude about it, like, "Oh, this is my wedding. Like, I don't need your opinion. Yada yada yada. Yeah, like if you wanted to do it this way, for your wedding, you do it. But this is my wedding." I'm like, Julia, like, calm down. She just says, "What is the backup plan?" I don't want to think about it. Betty brings all kind of rain in the sky and all that. Just saying all that dumb stuff. I'm like, okay, Julia, like for real. I know you're stressed with everything, but now you're just talking crazy. So, Julia's mom said, like, Betty, like, if she needs your help, basically say, if she needs your help, she'll ask you. If she don't, we just got to let her do what she wants to do, basically. So then, and Betty's like, okay, I'll take a back seat at it. Whatever, it's fine. No, whatever. Okay. So then we see Julia talk to her parents. And, Julia's parents are divorced. And she wants her parents to actually move here to America. And her parents were like, wait, what? Because she was like, I have no family here. I have no support and everything, especially if we have a kid, this, and that. And as we all know, they're pregnant right now anyway and everything. But it's, oh, I have no support here. I would like you guys here. I'm like, Julia, your parents are divorced. How are they going to move here? Where are they going to stay? Like, where are they going to stay for real? It was already a hassle to try to get him to come here just for a visit, and now you want them to move here? And their parents said no. Like her mom said that, like, I'm getting older, I'm not gonna be able to travel and move like this anymore. And the dad said that, like, all my stuff is over in Russia. Like, I ain't trying to move here. I couldn't live here permanently. No, my whole life is over in Russia. So then Julia gets sad, and then it starts raining and everything. So she runs inside and tells Brandon, and Brandon was like, Julia, like, I know you want to do this, but can we just focus on the ceremony first and everything and trying to build a family and everything? But she's like, I have no support. I'm like, and Brandon was like, well, my parents will support you. And she's like, no. And, like I said, I've been on Julia's side the whole season, but now it's just getting to the point where she's just talking crazy, don't know what she's saying, don't know what she really wants, basically. Like, I get her attention. It's just the way that she's going about it, and her timing is just terrible and everything. So I'm not saying her and Brandon should break up and get divorced and everything, but, like, they really need to chill. Like, she really needs to really chill. Like, everybody just needs to chill. Like, Brandon's parents need to chill. Brandon's just sitting there all nonchalant, trying to go with the flow and everything. Julia needs to chill, like, for real. Everybody just needs to calm down and chill. So, like, like I said, I've been Team Julia, but she's starting to push me away from them, just saying. So that was Brandon and Julia. Next couple I want to talk is the sad couple, Kara and Guillermo. Every episode this season, when we talk about Kara and Guillermo, I just keep saying the same thing on how sad it is to see them. They had a good week last week, going to having their little getaway and trying to rekindle some things. But in this episode, they had their conversation that they've been dying to have. They opened up on what really went wrong what really went wrong after their son was born. Kara feels like Guillermo, after the son was born, was not available that much. After being postpartum and everything and having a baby and doing all the post baby stuff, Guillermo would come home and just be checked out and everything. So that was basically Kara's side of the story on how things are downfalling. Guillermo's side of the story is that Kara would go out a lot. It started out with just a regular girls' night out, but it turned into constant all the time. And Kara says that yeah, she would go out on Thursday nights, on La Bancha night, Banchada night, whatever it's called, and everything. And Guillermo feels like she ain't coming in until like 4 in the morning and stuff and everything. And it's not feeling like Kara, like, coming back that she wants to be with Guillermo, basically. So Kara made a good point. She's like, nobody here is perfect. in this relationship. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. And Kara actually did, for once, take accountability for her actions. Be like, I'm not going to deny that this part did upset you, and I'm sorry for that and everything. Now, Guillermo keeps bringing out these cheating allegations. So, like, kind of what started this separation fully is when Guillermo saw Kara talking on her phone and just laughing and goofing on her phone, and he comes hovering over and asking her, and then she starts like doing this and hiding it. I would be suspicious too if I see my wife doing that. Just saying. And Kara freaked out and says that she ain't cheating and everything, and that's what caused like the whole thing. And she's also been texting a guy that she, I guess, hooked up with back in 2011 and everything, and like was hitting her up even after the wedding and everything. And I guess like they work together, and Guillermo, it's just uncomfortable for Guillermo to see that basically. And so he called that out, and she's denying everything, obviously. And then Kara decides to turn everything on Guillermo. Kara says that when she had a conversation with her mom, Kara's mom said that one night when they were gonna go pick up Nico or whatever, waiting for Guillermo to come to get Nico or something like that, Guillermo came in. He looked pretty like drugged out, and he like rushed to the bathroom to get a shower and everything. And he looked really suspicious. Kara asked Guillermo, have you been cheating? And he was just like, like what? And brought that up, and Guillermo denied that. So me personally, with Kara and Guillermo, I don't think there's any cheating involved, but it's just like Kara is just too wild at this point. Her music, I think, like, since her music is taken off and everything, she's becoming big-headed. And she's forgetting where she came from and forgetting, like, who she fell in love with and stuff and how this family started. And that's what I think that happens when you become... I thought that them days were over when you see like old groups in the olden days, like do that when someone gets big headed and breaks apart everything. I'm thinking now in 2024 and 2025 that is a little different, but yeah, I think that's the main downfall of this. And I don't it's no excuse for Guillermo to check out because they do have a kid, but I see why he did what he did. And it's not me taking up for the guy. It is what it is basically and everything. So Kara had the audacity to say, I don't think you're my person. And she's like, it doesn't mean I don't respect you. You're the father of my son and everything. Doesn't mean I don't love you. It's just that you're not my person. That's sad to hear. That was really sad. And Guillermo's just sitting there like, yep, okay, yep, yep. So it's sad. It's sad. Like I said, they were my favorite couple, but I don't know. It's sad. So yeah, that was Karen and Guillermo. Next couple I want to talk is Gino and Jasmine and Matt. So we'll start with Gino. So Gino meets up with his nephew at the gym. A few weeks ago, Gino and Natalie broke up after that fight at his cousin Dana's birthday party, basically. He said that him and Natalie do not talk now. Ever since then, he's trying to keep himself busy. He went to go play some golf with his nephew. And Gino finally did something that I've been dying for him to do. He finally cut ties with his cousin Dana, because he finally realized that Dana like really screwed that up with Gina and Natalie, because Dana he backstabbed his own cousin, with that whole situation. Now, I'm not saying that he has to be Team Gina just because he's family and everything. Like you have to be on the side of right in the situation, but there's a difference between being right and then just double crossing your own family and everything. Like, there was no excuse for them to invite Jasmine to that party, and they knew that Gina was bringing that girl and everything. I know they're close with Jasmine, but they knew fireworks were going to set it off, and then they're going to laugh about it. So Gina said that they had a conversation, a text conversation, and didn't go well. Like, I guess his cousin Dana said that you're the problem and this, and that. And Gina said, you can't keep believing what Jasmine's telling you and all that good stuff and everything. So he was just like, have a nice life. And and Gino was just like, he was sad about it because like him and his cousin been close since they were kids, basically. And, now he had to cut off his own cousin because on some BS that Jasmine did. And Gina's nephew, like, said it best. He was like, Jasmine's living with that dude, Matt, and everything. And she just wants, like, she's like doing what she gets to want to do. She just don't want to see you do what you want to do, basically. So she's really manipulative like that, basically. Because it didn't make no sense. Like, why is it okay for Jasmine to live with another guy? Yes, I know Gina kicked her out, but why is it okay for Jasmine to have an open marriage, have a guy in line that she's been screwing and everything? And, now Gino's trying to do his side of it. And then when he does, like, they attack the person he's with. That's not fair. The whole thing is not fair at all, but it's not fair for none of that to happen. So I'm glad that Gina cut ties with his cousin, because I would have done the same thing, because they were wrong for what they did. And Gina's wrong for that too, but they really set that up. They set Natalie up for failure, and that was not fair to Natalie. That was not fair to Gina, even though Gina could have still kind of did more to prevent that. It was still not fair to him either. So we move on over to Jasmine and Matt. So, they're still out and going out to places and going on a little carriage ride and everything. Matt wants a relationship with Jasmine, and everything. Jasmine told Matt that he is the best sex that he ever had. So ever since we seen Jasmine's been with Matt, we never hear about Dane. Y'all remember Dane, Jasmine's ex Dane from Panama? Like, we used to hear about him all the time. Like, when Jasmine first came to America and everything, we heard about Dane so much. But ever since Matt came in the picture, like, Dane who? Like, for real. And so now she's saying that Matt's the best sex that she's ever had and everything. It's just like, girl, make up your mind. And it's just really disturbing just hearing how she talks. But Matt wants a relationship with Jasmine, and she's still like airy. He took her wedding ring off and everything because he wants to start all over and all that. But now we have some drama with Matt. Not so much drama, but it's just like, what the heck moment with Matt now. So Matt brings up to Jasmine that he is moving to Miami because he has a new job. And he's been staying at his home in Michigan for Jasmine because Jasmine needed a place to stay. But ever since he did that, it's been some time now. His rent has doubled. He's renewed his lease multiple times, and he just doesn't want to keep doing it. But he said he's already signed a lease in Florida and has a place in mind, and he's moving in a couple weeks. And he wants Jasmine to come with him. And he tells Jasmine that, and Jasmine kind of freaks out. Because, like, it's not like she's going to be, he's trying to tell her, like, it's not like you're going to be homeless. I want you to come with me. We could start together. And Jasmine's like, no, this is all shocking. You knew all of this. Why didn't you tell me now? Because he's like, I didn't tell you because I'm waiting to see what you were trying to do with Gina, basically. But now after that party and everything, I feel like this is the perfect time and everything. And she was like, quit being sarcastic and everything. I'm like, I'm not being sarcastic. It's the truth and everything. I want you to come with me. And she's like, she gave him a really bad attitude about it, basically, and everything. But she says she's not giving him an answer. She's not going to give him an answer now. Obviously, what we know what happened now, I think they are living down in Miami now. I do think she decides to go with them because Jasmine already had the baby with Matt and everything. So, but she just doesn't know what to do at this point because, again, all of this was filmed before the Last Resort tell-all. So, because remember, at the last resort, tell her she was pregnant. She wasn't pregnant during this filming of Happily Ever After. So, yeah, like I can't wait till we at least get to that point and past that point to what we've seen prior. So, Jasmine gave Matt a lot of attitude, and then they just walked out and left. So, she just does not know what she wants. I like nothing to make I thought she hated Michigan. I thought when she first arrived to America, she always complained about Michigan being too cold and everything, and that she wanted to live, and Gina took her to Miami before and she wanted to live down there. So now Matt is gonna give you the opportunity that you want to move to Miami because it's second best to Panama, basically, and now you're giving him attitude. You know Gina don't want you no more. Gina said that he hasn't talked to Natalie or you, basically. So, whatever. So that was Gina and Jasmine. And the last couples I want to talk is this little triple threat couple of Lauren and Alexi, Elizabeth and Andre, and Jovi and Yara. Lord have mercy. This was a mess. This was a mess. So we pick up where we left off last week at Yara's launch party for her little dog business. And it was just shade after shade, shot after shot in this case. It started because Lauren called Andre a D, and then Elizabeth called out Alexi because Lauren told Elizabeth that Alexi body shames her and everything. And so Andre is like, who's the bad person now and everything. So now in this episode, Alexi calls in Lauren to talk about it, and Andre says that the messages that between Lauren and Elizabeth he read, even though he wasn't supposed to, and Elizabeth didn't even know, but she said she saw that conversation. Lauren said that, I confided in Elizabeth, and when I was going through like my basically the mommy makeover, I felt like Alex wasn't like supporting me enough, so some of the things he was saying that I need to work out more, I took it as body shaming basically and everything. And then Alexi just said, screw it, we're out of here. Like, everybody's just started screaming and stuff. So Lauren and Alex excused themselves. Now, you got everybody looking at them. Yara's getting really upset. Like, she was already overstimulated and stressing the whole day preparing for that. Yara's really upset and sees them fighting, and everybody else is fighting and everything. She's yelling, y'all, what are y'all fighting about? Y'all hear from me, basically, and everything. So Lauren and Alexi leave, and then like Yara starts crying. She's crying in Jovi's mom's arms and her friend's arms and everything. Elizabeth goes up and comforts Yara, says, Yara, I'm sorry. And Yara's like, Elizabeth, no, like this, you don't do this at a lunch party. Like, we could talk about this later and all that. Like, why, like, come on, why are you guys doing all of this and everything? She's like, I'm sorry. And then Yara's like, okay, so I got something to tell you. Since you're like causing problems at a launch party, I'm going to tell you, we knew about your $75,000 investment being gone, basically. Alex told us that Andre told him to keep this a secret. So now Elizabeth is pissed at Andre because like, she's like, I had just gotten over what happened in Moldova, and now to find out that my friends that knew this before me. So now Elizabeth is screaming at Andre and everything, and Andre said, you're overreacting, and she's like, you better quit telling me I'm overreacting and everything. I'm going home and everything. You told all of our friends, and there's, I don't think these people are our friends. How the way they've been acting. Yeah, nobody's your friends because this is all your fault, Andre. Like, for real. So Elizabeth leaves, and then Yara was like, I'm sorry, I had to tell Elizabeth that because, like, they shouldn't have been fighting. And then Andre comes to try to say sorry to Yara, and Yara's like, no, just leave, just go. You like to fight, just go with your wife. You like to fight, just go, and everything. And I really like I'm not a huge fan of Yara, but I felt extremely bad for Yara, and I'm glad she did what she did. But these cheap shots are like for real. Everybody's throwing cheap shots at it. Like it started with okay, Elizabeth confronting Lauren because they found out she was calling him Andre a D and everything, and then Elizabeth calls out Alexi because Alexi's been body shaming. Now Yara's calling out Elizabeth. Oh, we know about the $75,000 investment. Y'all, dang, some friends y'all are for real. Like man, I wouldn't want these people to be my friends. And you just got Jovi. Jovi's mom was like holding Jovi back, like, do not get yourself into this. Nope, nope, not get in. Do not get into this. Do not get into this. You stay out of it, basically, and everything. So he's trying to comfort Yara, and Yara's like, "What do you think, Jovi? I'm really upset and everything." And everything. So, normally Jovi's at the center of drama, like when it comes to them, and now he's just out of it and just doesn't, just like in the middle of it, and doesn't really know what to do and stuff and everything. But yeah, some friends these people are. I could not see myself with friends with none six of them, all six of them, because they all messy. And I don't trust none of them. I wouldn't be able to trust them. I could probably trust Elizabeth a little bit. That was the first time like she did something shady, but because out of all of them, I like Elizabeth the most out of all of them. But yeah, but for real, Elizabeth's husband is the D word. Um, I like Alexi and Lauren, but they just and when they were confronting Lauren now, watching that other TLC show, Bailing Out Loud, the girl who has Tourette syndrome. Now, we all know Lauren has Tourette syndrome, but this is the first time I seen Lauren really have like tics. Like we could like during this confrontation, like she was really ticking and stuff and everything. And I learned a lot by watching Bailing Out Loud. So, and I knew Lauren had Tourette syndrome before seeing Bailing Out Loud, and how severe her ticks are and everything. But yeah, Lauren was really ticking during this confrontation and stuff. And this is the first time I actually noticed it, because I didn't notice much of her Tourette syndrome. She mentioned it a lot in the past, but this was the first time I actually noticed her ticks and stuff. So, but yeah, those people are really, really messy. I don't trust them. I really don't. I'm just like, wow. Wow. So, judging by the previews, I think Jovi's just had enough of Florida, basically, and now Yara's going to get upset with Jovi, and now we're going to be hearing, probably going to go back to here, going back to what I've been trying to hear. I hate you, Jovi. Yara crying, I hate you, Jovi. I'm going back to Ukraine and taking Mama with me. I've been miserable here for 5 years. You don't support me. I know I mock Yara doing that. I'm sorry, I do, and I apologize to people I offend by when I do that. But she did that so much during her early seasons, and it just drove me crazy. And that's why, like, when they came back for this season, I'm just like, please, just don't let that happen this year. Like anything but that. Like I just want to see them happy. They were the only couple from season 1 of The Last Resort to survive. So like come on, like they can get through this. So yeah. But anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. We did not see Tiger Lily and Adnan in this episode. I wonder if they might be done. Maybe an episode or 2 left. I don't care. I really don't care. But yeah, we didn't see Tiger Lily and Adnan. Again, Julia needs to chill. And then I think like all that triple threat couples, I think they're all going to be separate next week's episode. I think everybody's going to be talking to their partners like about themselves. Finally, Elizabeth and Andre are going to have another deep conversation. Finally, this is the first time I think Elizabeth's finally questioning her marriage, even though it ain't going to change nothing. They're still happily together and everything. Lauren and Alexia are going to clear the air with what that was. And then, Jovi and Yara, You know, Joey just wants to go back to where he was. You would think that Jovi would have loved Miami, but he's not feeling it. I mean, I'm proud of Yara. I'm sure he's proud of Yara, but he just ain't feeling it. So yeah. But anyway, guys, yeah, that is it. I will be back on tomorrow and Tuesday to recap the season 7 premiere of 90 Day Fiancé the Other Way. So I'm looking forward to seeing new couples and stuff and everything, and starting a brand new season tomorrow. So thank you guys again for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. We're growing and growing, and I'll see y'all again soon. Bye, y'all.